What if there was a way to holistically take care of your health without all the big pharma drugs? Plus, let's talk about what's happening in Israel.
Instead of focusing on winning arguments, we're teaching the basic fundamentals of sales and marketing and how we can use them to win in the world of politics, teaching you how to meet people where they're at on the issues they care about. Welcome to The Brian Nichols Show.
Well, hey there, folks. Brian Nichols here on The Brian Nichols Show, and thank you for joining us on, of course, is it a fun-filled episode? We're going to talk about that, but yes, I am, as always, your humble host, joining you live from our Cardio Miracle Studios. Want to go ahead and get one of the best heart health supplements on the market. Well, stick around. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But first, we're going to talk about a couple things. First, we're going to talk about, yes, the tragedy has been unfolding over in Israel over the past few days. But also, we're going to be talking some health and wellness, talking about holistic approaches to dealing with a lot of the issues that we in the health world have been dealing with outside of the paradigm of big pharma, pills, and medicine. So to help us do that today, joining us from the Wellness Center, Dr. Hadar Elbaz. Welcome here to the Brian Nichols Show. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me here. Well, in light of the events in Israel, I'm doing not great, but okay. Just
understood.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple of days. Very, very rough. My whole family is there. So watching the videos, knowing what's going on, the murders, just everything that's been going on has been heartbreaking. Missiles falling right by my cousins, my family, my friends, kids are missing, murdered, gone. So there's so much destruction, so much pain. It's a whole Holocaust all over again in Israel. The most death we've ever seen since the Holocaust actually happened October 7th, which was 2 days ago, after so many people have been murdered and killed cold-blooded in the rave, and so many people have been kidnapped and murdered from their own home. It's just been a tragedy, and it's just been, I cannot fathom, I just still cannot wrap my head around any of that. So I'm here, my family is there. Needless to say, it's the first time I'm actually having a little smile on my face, but it's not, my heart is broken.
We usually bring energy and jubilance to the episode. Yeah. It's tough today. If you haven't been online and you haven't seen the videos, I mean, Dr. Hadar really, she touches on some of what you outlined there, but I mean, it's horrible. It's tragic. It tugs at the heartstrings of humanity, and seeing what's happening right now unfold in Israel. And with Hamas, just launching thousands of rockets into very populated Israeli cities. You mentioned the rave that was taking place. It was supposed to be a dance celebrating peace. I think it was 300 plus individuals at this point confirmed killed, with hundreds more missing. Families being pulled out of their homes lit on fire. Men, women, children raped, murdered, beaten. It's hard to even put into context that this is happening in 2023. And you made some connections there to the Holocaust, 1930s and 40s. And, we're ticking up to 100 years removed from that very, very dark history. And yet here we are today, fast forward almost 100 years, and we're seeing, if not echoes, I would say outright recreations in some instances of what we saw take place during the Nazi Holocaust of Jewish individuals within the greater Europe. And frankly, this led to why Israel exists, right? With the formation of Israel after World War II as a homeland for the Jewish people. So you Dr. Hadar, you grew up in Israel. And with that, obviously, you have military obligations. You were in the Air Force, I believe?
Correct. So I grew up in Israel. I served 2 years in the Israeli Air Force in intelligence. And I'm grateful I had the privilege to serve my country and to experience and to really get out of my comfort zone and do what I did, and see a lot of horror too, unfortunately. But yeah, I did serve in the military, and it's just breaking my heart that, seeing so many soldiers being killed now as well, and everybody's called back in the military to fight in Gaza, and we don't, obviously it's not safe. None of it is safe. So it's devastating. I have a lot of friends called back. I have a lot of friends, kids who are now in the military too. is just not safe. And the thing is too, they're doing it in Israel. These are the terrorists doing it, but now they're crossing our borders here, and God knows what they're planning on. I keep reading that they are planning stuff here in the US as well. So as we know, we cannot be, what's the word in English I'm looking for, but we cannot just sit quiet and sit still. We all have to be very vigilant and very aware.
Put your guard down.
Because it's happening in Europe, it's happening in the US, it's happening everywhere. And no one, whether you're Jewish or black or white or Muslim, Christian, anything, you should never just sit quietly or watch this happen without even raising an eyebrow, asking what's going on here? How can we support Israel? Because no human being should ever go through this. No human should ever be doing that, right? This is inhumane. But whether you are Jewish or not, this is not normal. And this can happen anywhere. And so everyone should really just protect themselves, right? Make sure that anywhere you go, you are vigilant and not naive as to, I live in America, nothing will happen. No, things happen here all the time. But whether it's from Muslim terrorists or whether it's from Americans, Christians or whomever that is just trying to hurt other people, this is inhumane. This is just not normal. And it's just heartbreaking. So I hope everybody, stands up and really supports as well. But yeah.
Well, and let's dig a little bit into that, because I've seen, despite everything that we've just outlined today, I've seen countless folks on social media saying, no, this is the direct impact of Israel treating Hamas or not Hamas, but treating the Gaza Strip, treating the Palestinians poorly. We're seeing protests across the country, across the world in support of these attacks. And I guess I'm seeing what we've seen, the videos that are coming out, and I'm having trouble. And I don't know how anybody else is not having trouble at being able to say, like, this is a good thing. There's no good here. And I guess if you could, because you obviously not just growing up in Israel, but you having really a very detailed experience in not just living there, but now being in America, and you're seeing our response very split here in the States. Yeah. What would be your response to those folks who say, well, this is just just like the United States foreign policy blowback. This is what you get with your 9/11, right? That was the argument then. What say you, Dr. Hadar?
Yeah, even if I weren't Jewish, even if I weren't from Israel, just seeing any kind of murder, rape, mass attacks, mass killing, no matter who you are and where you are, this is not okay. No matter what you are, this is not okay. This is not a human. This is not humane. This is not something that anyone should be ever going through, whether you did something or not. Even I don't wish it for my enemies, if that makes sense. Like, none of this should happen. Israel has always supported Gaza. Israel has given them electricity and water and food. We supply things for them. We are not against the citizens. We are against the terrorists. It's the terrorism that we are trying to fight. Their citizens are innocent, just like Israeli civilians. It's terrorism that we're fighting. So even now we are retaliating against, of course, they are in Gaza, demolishing whatever they can, but they have warned the citizens and they told them, get out. Obviously, there are a lot of innocent people and they're warning them, get out, move away from Gaza Strip, because you don't want to be there when we are going in, bombarding and killing, all the terrorists, all the head of Hamas. We don't want that to happen to the civilians. So we are showing compassion, but they will take their babies and put them in front of themselves and say, if you shoot, here is our baby, like, shoot, let's see you shoot us. And literally there are countless of, whether it's photos or they're cheering with their babies, they're teaching their children how to hate from such a young age. Like, why? Nowhere in Israel or in Judaism or in Christianity or anywhere will you teach your children evil or hatred toward any other human being or animals. No one will do that. Why are they doing it? There's so much hatred, and it's not just about the land. It's about Judaism in general. We've been hated, unfortunately, for many, many years, as we know, for decades, all over the world, always, unfortunately. So some people are, of course, waking up to there shouldn't be any hatred, but some people are still seeing it and they're like, yeah, let's celebrate that because they should die. It's like, what? Who? Why? So this is something I just can't wrap my head around. And I'm all about obviously love and peace and, show compassion. I have Muslim friends who I absolutely love. And some of them have family in Gaza. And I'm like, please tell your family to get out. Like, I don't want to see any harm for anyone. And I love everyone, right? I don't have a problem with them, I don't care what religion you are. It's about, are you humane? Do you have hatred or do you have love? Do you have compassion? Some people have no compassion whatsoever. And so this is what's devastating.
Yeah. And we could, I'm sorry. I was going to say, we could go on about this too. I feel bad having you have to go through this because obviously you have family that's over in Israel right now. I have a good buddy of mine from college. His family's all in Israel right now, and it's a very real thing, right? Like I think sometimes we in America are so removed from the impact, like the direct impacts of when stuff like this happens, when all of a sudden it's like, oh, I have friends, or oh, Dr. Hadar's in the show today, and you have family who lives in Israel. It becomes much more real, and I think it actually helps with the humanizing of these conversations, because it is so sexy to go online and have your hot take, right? And that's all I saw over the weekend was Twitter full of hot takes. And it made me sick. Both sides, right? I see one side saying, this is destined to happen. Israel deserves it. I see the other side saying we need to turn Gaza into a parking lot and like nuke it. And I'm just saying, stop. Being the hot take police today of all days serves no one. Yeah, it makes you feel good to your base of followers that you think you're riling up, but is this actually adding to a civil discourse to discuss the very real issues that are not just taking place today, but have been taking place for generations at this point in the Middle East, specifically in the hotbed that is Israel? So this is a conversation I think we will continue to have. And unfortunately, I don't see the conversation going towards a peaceful resolution unless we see a lot of things change, a lot more people coming to the table in good faith. I guess to put a bow on this conversation, Dr. Hadar, as we move to talking about hopefully some more uplifting things in the health and wellness world, though, if you could just give us a little bit more, anything you want to do to help tie this episode up here with a nice bow.
Yeah, so I work with a wellness company now too, and I joined them a few months ago. I love the wellness company. So I'm a functional medicine director. My background is in Chinese medicine and acupuncture, Chinese medicine, functional medicine. Been practicing for over 17 years. Been treating many patients with great success, whether it's injuries, athletic injuries, whether it's internal medicine, functional medicine in general. And functional medicine looks at the root cause. So I always look at the root cause. How can I help a patient feel better? If someone has a headache or stomach issues or fatigue or an autoimmune disease, anything, I always look at the root cause. So I look at their blood work. I look at their symptoms, of course. I look at their tongue, right? I analyze their tongue. I analyze their face, their lines, their eyes, their demeanor. So I look at everything and I kind of formulate the diagnosis and the whole picture as to how to treat the patient in the best way possible without pharmaceuticals, right? So I also try and remove patients from pharmaceuticals as much as possible and get them on a healthier lifestyle. So I always look at their lifestyle, their sleep habits, their nutrition, exercise, emotional, right? Mental health, that's also huge. What is their social life like? So I look at everything and I help them formulate, a treatment plan and go from there. But it's something that I've always been very passionate about, and how to bring patients back into homeostasis and alignment and to just help them feel better.
So we had Dr. Jen Vandewater here on the show back episode 691, where we talked about how science is for sale and how big pharma is killing our health. And you're painting the picture here of how there are so many opportunities for us in a holistic approach, focusing truly on the causes of the issues versus the Americanized approach of give me a pill, let me feel numb until I die, let the pain go away. That approach, I think a lot of folks are starting to wake up that it doesn't work, which also speaks to why we have our studio sponsorship, which, by the way, really quick, we're going to go ahead and pay the bills by talking about our studio sponsor, and that is the one and only Cardio Miracle. Now, I am a huge fan of Cardio Miracle. I've been using it now for about 5 months or so, and folks, the Cardio Miracle difference is in fact real. Now, this is not a magic pill. This is not a magic supplement, but it is truly one of the game changers in your health and wellness stack. So if you are ready to supercharge your heart health and energy levels, seriously, look no further than right here, Cardio Miracle. This unique natural supplement contains a special blend of ingredients that work to increase the nitric oxide levels in your system. And why is this important? Because nitric oxide is vital for promoting healthy circulation and protecting your heart. So higher nitric oxide releases and opens up your blood vessels, leading to improved blood flow, lower blood pressure, reduced inflammation, and that means the benefits are clear. With the enhanced delivery of oxygen and nutrients throughout your body, that means more energy, less fatigue, optimal heart function, and oh, by the way, gentlemen, better sexual health as well. And did I mention that Cardio Miracle also helps ensure better sleep quality and protect your heart from damage? And if you want to feel like you're going to wake up feeling refreshed and powered to take on anything, well, go ahead, experience the Cardio Miracle difference for yourself. Head to cardiomiracle.com today and use code TBNS at checkout for 15% off your order, meaning you can join the thousands of others who are on the path to improved heart health and increased energy. Your heart, I guarantee, will thank you. So if you want 52 all-natural ingredients in one drink, truly the finest heart health supplement in the world, grab yours today over at briannicholsshow.com. Hit the link or go right to cardiomiracle.com and use code TBNS at checkout for 15% off your order. Cardiomiracle.com. Experience the Cardio Miracle difference for yourself. All right, so let's talk about holistic approach to overall wellness, Dr. Hadar. Now, you take things through a functional standpoint. Talk to us, because you were an athlete. You are an athlete, and obviously that, I'm sure, plays a great deal into how you help work with your patients. So what's kind of your approach to dealing with the whole body versus addressing specific symptoms?
Yeah, and by the way, I love nitric oxide. I use arginine and beets powder and supplements for nitric oxide to vasodilate your blood vessels, for heart flow, great for sexual life too, great for libido. It's a great product for sure.
There you go.
Sorry, what was your question again? What is
No. So holistic approach to health, right? So we in America, and this is kind of like the Western, I guess, approach to medicine. We solve symptoms. It seems like we go after and try to fix the symptoms instead of addressing the root causes of problems, but also taking a look at things through a holistic approach. You, in the world of sports, I'm sure that's played a role into you looking at the whole body versus, just, oh, the ankle hurts. Well, why does the ankle hurt? And going into more of understanding the why versus just trying to address the symptom when it identifies itself. Does that make sense?
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I've done Ironman and many triathlons in my life, and Jewish Olympics, and I've been injured as well. And so I always obviously look at treating athletes. For example, if you have someone with plantar fasciitis, why do they have, a heel pain? It's not coming from the heel, it's actually coming from calf. So there are, in Chinese medicine, for example, we have Chinese meridians or channels in our body, which are also neurovascular points, and those points have specific function, and they're directly correlated to your brain and spinal cord, and also by alleviating pain, right? So, for example, take someone with that plantar fasciitis. I'm not just going to treat their heel. I'm going to treat the root cause. I'm going to treat their adrenals as well. I'm going to treat their calf. I'm going to look at what are you doing in your daily life to cause this, right? Because it's not just you wake up and you suddenly have a heel pain. What shoes are you wearing? Are you sleeping enough? Are you stressed? We always have to look at the whole picture. So here I'm looking at adrenals. If someone comes in with a headache, for example, headaches can have so many different root causes, right? It can be dehydration. It can be vitamin deficiency or nutrient deficiency. It can be toxins. It can be vision. It can be, your neck alignment is out. There can be so many root causes to so many symptoms. And that's why we always look at the root cause to treat a patient. So, and then accordingly, I treat with Chinese herbs or supplements. Sleep is crucial, right? Help you sleep is number one. I always want to make sure that patients are sleeping 7 to 9 hours. I always want to make sure they're soaking up some sunlight directly in the morning and not afraid of the sun, because it's crucial for your health, and vitamin D. And exercising and sweating and detoxing, right? There's so many, organs we look at when we are treating patients, whether it's the liver for detoxification, liver, gallbladder. We look at the bowels, right? We want to make sure that patients are using their bathroom, pooping, excuse my language, every day, right? We want to make sure that your gut is cleansed. We want to make sure you don't have you don't have parasites. Cleanse your parasites. everyone has parasites. We want to make sure that your lymphatic system is flowing smoothly and it's not clogged. Your lungs are good. So we look at, and the kidneys are flowing. And so we look at every organ, we look at the meridians, we look at any blockages, I look at the tongue to see what's going on internally. That tells me what's going on with the patient's organs. And then accordingly, I also look at blood work, like I said, and that tells me their deficiencies, any inflammation, what's going on with the heart, their lipids, their hormones. So there could be so many things that can lead to a certain diagnosis. In Western medicine. There could be many different root causes if we look at the actual, what is the root cause.
So how do you see patients? Because the wellness center I know is online, right? But you guys are national. So how does that work? Are we using the advents of technology in the 21st century, doing video chat? How does that usually work?
Yeah, so I've been in the industry for a long time. So I've done telemedicine for a long time. I still do, and I still see some patients in person for treatments. But with the wellness company, yes, we do see patients via telemedicine. So we have our freedom from pharma, and then I'm adding on appointments for the functional medicine part at the wellness company as well. So that's what I'm working on now, building that. But I've had my own private practice for a long time. And I still see patients via telemedicine and in person. Some patients, very, concierge patients for injections and acupuncture, but mostly injections. And I do vitamin injections, scar injections, which is great, neural therapy. But with the wellness company, we see patients online, and we also have a lot of great products like the spike support, and we have our emergency medical kit. And we have other great products that we offer from the wellness company as well.
Yeah, well, when we had Dr. Vandewater on the show, I think we were talking about was it the vaccine, the vaccine repair kit or something like that, wasn't it?
No, so we have this
vaccine repair. You know what I'm trying to say, though, right?
Yes, we have two. We have the spike support formulas that is for adult and children. We have two different formulas. That is to help repair or detox your body from the effects of the jab from the COVID one. So that is the spike support has nattokinase and dandelion, green tea, and other herbs in there, botanicals, to help synergistically affect, melt, and dissolve your spike protein if you did get the jab or you didn't. Because of shedding, right? So you want to protect your immune system, you want to protect yourself from shedding from others. And then we have one for children as well that is chewable. And now recently, I don't know if you know this, but we have the medical emergency kit, and that is a great way to kind of shy away from the big pharma. So that is a kit that has amoxicillin and ivermectin and other medications for emergency. So if the government or big pharma are trying to prevent you from getting ivermectin when you need it, you can have that emergency kit on hand and use that. So I can share a link with that if you'd like. And that is such a great medical kit to have, and I urge everyone to get that for emergency.
Look at that. You got your own kit of horse paste. Isn't that great?
Right?
No, Dr. Hadar, this has been a great conversation. And I mean, obviously the first part of our conversation was a little more somber, and rightfully so. And folks, I mean, if you are not paying attention to what's happening over in the Middle East, specifically what has been unfolding in Israel over the past few days, please take some time and educate yourself. And truly, this will be my final thoughts for the show. It's gonna hurt to watch some of these videos, but I think you need to. And I think, and I'm not sure what your thoughts are, Dr. Hadar, but I think after 9/11, we kind of had this, we can't show the face of evil. We have to blur when Jihadi John's cutting off, people's heads. We can't show how evil actually looks. And I think it turned into almost this desensitization of, well, the evil I think of is Call of Duty evil, right? It's the video game evil. It's the movie Hollywood evil. It's not real life until it is, right? Until it's no longer, this is a video game. It's not Grand Theft Auto. It's not Call of Duty. It's not, your favorite. Yeah, it's not your favorite Michael Bay movie, right? This is real life. These are real people, and it's real devastation, destruction, torture, mayhem, and it's indicative on us to look evil in the eye and call it for what it is. We've talked about this in the show many months ago about the importance of having cultural conversations and calling out bad culture when we see it. And just because we are a tolerant society does not mean that we need to be a just overall accepting of all ideas, because no, not all ideas and values or cultures are created equal. And I think it's important on us, and it's time for us to stand up and say that, instead of being afraid of being canceled, being afraid of being ostracized and shunned from quote unquote polite society. Folks, polite society is marching us right off of cliff in their pursuit of political correctness. Congratulations. You'll be patting each other, self-congratulatory pats in the back there, all the way to your fiery demise. No pun intended. And we're seeing this right now. What happens when we don't call evil for what it is? Israel has been trying to deal with this and have many times had their hands tied. I'm actually a little scared to see what the reaction will be, but there has to be, I think, in some regards, a reaction, and we're seeing that firsthand. Dr. Hadar, that's my final thoughts for today. Obviously, we'd love to hear your thoughts as we wrap things up here today, but also when folks can go ahead and continue the conversation. We want them to be able to support the work you're doing, where they can go ahead and do that as well.
Yeah, I just saw a video how Hamas is now threatening to execute all the hostages if Israel doesn't stop bombing. And it's like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, if we don't stop, obviously we have our hostages, or people are held hostage, and I don't even know who's even alive if they are. But they're tortured, they're raped, it's again hard to even wrap my head around. But I urge everyone to go watch these videos. Get sick to your stomach, like we all have been. I am very much sick to my stomach, and I have a headache from that. I want to, excuse my language, I want to puke, because this is disturbing to no end. And if anyone has a little bit of a heart, anyone who watches this would be disgraced. They would be just appalled and feel the horror that we all are going through there, and we all feel. And I think everyone needs to watch it just to kind of identify and really understand what evil looks like, because that is the ultimate picture of evil. And no good person will ever want to hurt another innocent baby or grandma or soldier or innocent children or anyone. It's just not humane. So go watch it. And it's not about taking sides. It's about just being human. And, do you have feelings? Do you have a heart? You'll know what I'm talking about when you watch these videos. So
agreed. No, I'm a dad of a 6-month-old, right? My audience has been with me since for a very long time, but they heard me back in March as I celebrated the welcoming of my daughter to the world. And being a new dad, wow, like, whew, it changes everything when you see those videos, and you're like, nope, that will never, I can never let that happen to my daughter or anyone's daughter, specifically if it's, on our way here. Like, what are we going to do? And it awakens a different part of you. And I think that's just something, inherently of being a parent, but that might be a different conversation for a different day. Dr. Hadar, it has been a truly enlightening conversation here at the show. We like to leave folks educated, enlightened, informed. And I think today, despite even, yes, some of the more dark, somber conversation aspects, it's important that we have these dialogues, and also talking about, how do we deal with our holistic health, and specifically focusing on where we've maybe been spending a lot more time on symptoms, and with that, big pharma being able to treat symptoms than actually addressing the roots of these problems. The Wellness Center, it's an amazing organization. I am a big fan, especially, all the great work that not only Dr. Hadar, but Dr. Jen Vandewater have been doing, and all the other folks over there. So if you want to go ahead and support the Wellness Center, we will have all those links here in the show notes. And if you want to go ahead and continue the conversation, well, first of all, please go ahead and give today's episode a share. And when you do, tag yours truly at B Nichols Liberty. Dr. Hadar, where can folks go ahead on social media and follow you if they want to continue the conversation on their end?
Yeah, thank you. My Instagram is dr.hadarsofia. So it's dr.hadar, Hadar, Sophia, Sophia. That's my Instagram, and my website is thevibrantglow.com, The Vibrant Glow, which is my staple. I always like to treat root cause and look at the vibrant glow from the inside out. So yes, then I'll send you links for the emergency kits for Spike. If you don't have, I'll send them to you for sure.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, folks, thank you for joining us. And by the way, wherever you're catching us, you didn't likely know that there's other areas you can watch the show. So with that being said, let's quickly address that. Where can you watch us from an audio version? If you want to listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music, or wherever it is you get your podcast, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button and also download all unplayed episodes. We have over 775 episodes. Phenomenal programs with amazing guests here on the show. And also for the video version of the show, yes, we have our traditional YouTubes, but also we have rumble.com. We have Twitter, x.com. And then also we have Ben Swan's awesome entity, Sovereign, SOVREN, which, by the way, if you are joining us over on Sovereign, well, congratulations. You're seeing today's episode before anyone else. That's your Sovereign exclusive. But otherwise, yes, all episodes are uploaded in their entirety to x.com, formerly Twitter, and also over on YouTube and Rumble. If you are joining us over there, hit that subscribe button, little notification bell, and of course, hit that like button and go down below in the comments. Let us know your thoughts on today's episode. I want to hear your thoughts on health, wellness, and if you have some hot takes, please don't give hot takes in the comments. Let's have a thoughtful dialogue if it comes down to this conversation of what's taking place over in the Middle East with regards to Israel. So that's where we're going to leave things today. But if you are joining us here on the YouTubes, stick around. We're going to have that conversation with Dr. Jen Vandewater popping up right about here. Other than that, that's all we have for you. Brian Nichols signing off. You're on The Brian Nichols Show for Dr. Hadar Elbaz. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to The Brian Nichols Show. Find more episodes at briannicholsshow.com.